in regard to why am I so concerned about Holyoke that I've made this recommendation, and this is only the second time in 7 years that I've made a recommendation like this. It is out of incredible concern about the future of the young people of Holyoke. While there are young people who are getting an outstanding education in Holyoke, overall, the low results for our young people are persistent and they're pervasive. I've laid out some of the things that I've looked at to make that case that I find incredibly alarming and disturbing. In early grade reading, an area that educators across the nation are very focused on, in 3rd and 4th grade in Holyoke, 1 out of 7 students, 1 out of 7 is reading and writing on grade level. In mathematics, across all of the grades, 1 out of 4 students is on grade level in mathematics. When we look at dropout rates and we look at graduation rates, there is no school district, K-12 school district in the Commonwealth with a lower graduation rate and the dropout rate is one of the highest. This concerns me to the point where I have made this recommendation because this low performance has been continuing for well over a decade. And for each generation of young people who pass through the school system, there are some who will thrive, but the majority of students are not thriving. And their future is being limited by the limited education that they're getting out of the system. Now, let me address some of the misinformation that I've heard, and some of you probably heard similar. I've heard and I've seen in writing that receivership will mean mass firings. Not true. Not true at all. I start with the assumption that there are many, that most of the teaching force in Holyoke and administrators are strong and capable teachers and administrators. And we need you. We need you to be part of this receivership, part of turning this district around. If you're willing to be part of rethinking how we organize for school, I welcome you to remain on staff. We won't be able to do business as usual and get better results for students. Business as usual is going to keep us going in the same rut that we're in Holyoke. So we need to rethink from the ground up how we organize for school. And if you're willing to be part of that endeavor, I welcome you. So the fear-mongering that I've heard about mass firings, absolutely not true. I've heard sloganeering. I've heard that receivership means the privatization of the school district, the corporatization of education. Not true. Again, these are public schools that will continue to be run by the public in Massachusetts, with the state taking a lead role going forward should the state board decide to endorse my recommendation of receivership. We are not turning these schools into private schools. I've heard parents concerned and I've heard students ask, well, what happens to me? What does that mean? Particularly if I'm in high school. Does that mean I don't get a diploma? Does that mean colleges aren't going to accept me or recognize the diploma that I had? Absolutely not correct. Colleges will continue to look at your academic track record. Students will continue to go to school, will continue to offer the courses, and will look very carefully and very systematically at the course offerings across the district, not least of all in the 2 high schools, to make sure that all students are getting as strong an education as possible. So what comes next if the state board does vote for the receivership? You can expect that over the next 2 months or so, I will identify a receiver for the school district. We will convene a local stakeholder group, representatives of the community, of the teachers union, of these of elected officials, to help guide the development of a turnaround plan. Over the next couple of months, we'll develop that turnaround plan and we'll begin to implement it in the fall. I suspect that given the fact that we're having this conversation so late in the school year means that we'll only begin the process of implementing a turnaround in the fall, and we'll continue that over the next school year as we move ahead. But at the end of the day, at the bottom line, I've made this recommendation to the State Board of Education with a profound sense of responsibility to you who are parents in this room, to you who are community members in this room, to you who are teachers and faculty and administrators and staff in the school district. But most of all, I've made this recommendation with a profound sense of responsibility to the students of Holyoke and their future.